Here we go, self-driving.
All right, so the first thing we got to do is set a destination. Where would you like to go?
Where would we like to go?
It's up to you. So we can go to, let me show you the way it works. You just decide, you can go random anywhere. That you're gonna
Anywhere in the area?
Doesn't matter, just plug anything in you want to go to. It shows you where you're going, right?
Yeah.
Push this button right here. Push this. Probably put the seatbelt there.
Yeah.
So here we go. Ready?
Yep.
It takes over. Now we're self-driving.
How much different is this for you from the P100D self-driving?
Huge difference. That one felt like we were going to potentially die at any moment.
Right.
This one so far, I've only been doing it for today, but this one so far, incredible. And it takes you into parking lots, it'll park you. It's smooth. I took it into the downtown area today and drove around after I picked up your sister, and it was really impressive. Super smooth. It's turning, you know, the signals on and off. It changes lanes when it makes sense. Sometimes it waits a little long to get back into a lane when it's going to turn right or something, like that part they're still, I guess, working on. If you're not going fast enough, you can just push this pedal and it'll go faster and stay at that speed. If you want to change lanes, you just turn on the blinker and it'll change lanes. Like if you want to go ahead and get in the right-hand lane because you see a lot of traffic coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, see, how does it see who's coming?
I don't know.
I don't know, but here we go. So it's still it's doing good.
Yeah, it's doing decent.
Didn't cut anybody off, which is pretty awesome.
Wait, was the Lightning capable of this? Or
Lightning does Blue Cruise, which only is a smart cruise control. So it sees a green light, so watch. And it knows it's green, and it just goes on the green arrow. Look at that. So impressive. I'm just driving wherever I want to go right now.
That's incredible.
Isn't that pretty? That's pretty darn smooth, right? And this is, again, this
yeah,
is
it is not jolty when you sit here.
No, it's the first day. So I assumed, and I haven't driven a self-driving version since 2019.
Right.
Well, no, it wasn't 2019. When did I get rid of that?
I don't know. It was
2020,
late 2020.
21 or something like that.
Yeah, it was after COVID, right?
Yeah, that was the last time we drove the self-driving car. So it's been a while, and they made a lot of improvements, and it's extraordinarily smooth comparatively.
Right.
It's really impressive. And again, this is the first day on Cybertrucks.
Right.
That, like,
is this the beta, or is this the fully released version?
This is not fully released yet because they've only done it on select.
Ooh, we have a Prius. All right.
They only
see what
have
this
done
thing
it on
does.
select cars, and watch this. So you can play it like a little game, but you can only.
Oh, it doesn't like that. Please pay attention to the road. It's saying.
It sees me looking at you.
Oh. Okay.
This camera is what's watching me. So unlike the Ford that has retinal readers, this one watches your whole body. It watches your eyes, your face, your head, your arms. If you're on your phone and you're right here, it can see all that.
Right.
Whereas the Ford really just pays attention to all your eyes going straight.
And you have to redirect pretty often in Blue Cruise, right?
You do have to engage pretty regular. Now this one will not, unless it thinks you're messing with something. It lets you just sit there.
Wow.
But as long as I'm looking forward and I'm paying attention, it doesn't make me engage. Now, the minute when I held my camera up earlier to record,
yeah,
while I was driving, then it made me engage because it couldn't tell, like, what are you doing? Where are you?
Right.
It could tell I was looking forward, but I had a camera in my hand up here.
Was it a distraction, or was it you looking over constantly to check what you were recording?
I think it was because I had the camera up here, because I was still looking forward.
Right. Oh, there's a police officer.
Yeah. It does kind of go slow, so it's kind of like driving with your grandma or something. It's not gonna. It only goes up to 5 miles an hour over the speed limit.
It's not a Texas driver.
No, but now it's going to turn left. Let's watch, see what happens. Now this is when it gets kind of interesting because it'll go when it opens right here, but earlier there was a long line past that opening and that solid line.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh, what's it going to do? Because will it recognize to break the solid line to get behind the long line before there's an opening? And it did.
It did.
It did. It saw the long line of cars and it moved over behind them and it broke the solid white.
And if you've never driven a Cybertruck before, you'll know that they are very glitchy usually when detecting other cars, but this is the smoothest I've ever seen the 3D render.
Yeah, this is the first time it's been available. So the rest of the stuff we saw before was just all, testing out beta stuff, and they were still trying to get these cameras calibrated because the car is so much different in dimensions and size and weight than the other cars. They had to get millions of miles or whatever tested before they would release it to the masses. And I don't know what percent of Cybertrucks has it now, but the forums seem to say that it's only going out to probably people that have been testers before, I assume.
Yeah, because you've had a couple.
We
of
tested the first
now.
one in 2018. We had when the Model X first got our self-driving. We tested it, and it was pretty terrible. It was kind of like Blue Cruise. It was just kind of it's like cruise control with steering.
Right. Yeah.
And then they started adding all the lane changing and all the other stuff that freaks you out a little bit. But the cool thing is, like, when it goes across, like when we go back towards home, it'll go, like when you have a pretty dicey situation where you're going across traffic on a blinking yellow, for instance.
Right.
And there's, cars coming. There's situations where it's kind of like, what's going to happen? And it does pretty darn good. You can see it's going to... This car's coming.
Oop, this corner right here.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I did kind of hit
almost
earlier.
clipped that.
Yeah, I heard earlier I hit a little bit of a curb.
You did?
When I was with your sister bringing her back home. The sunset's real pretty.
It is. Texas sunset. Can't beat it. And our self-driving, Austin-made Tesla.
It'll go as far as you want. So, I mean, this will take us to Dallas and Houston, College Station, wherever you want to go. It'll self-drive the whole way.
It's very interesting. The UI looks much better and it detects further than it did. At least a lane over more than it did before. It used to mostly just detect, it would see discrepancies in the road, so it would detect, like if there was a curb, it would get really red on the sensor, and it would detect cars that would go by at like a frame rate of like 2. But this is like the smoothest it's ever been.
Yeah, and you'll see if there's no one in front of you, like it looks pretty far ahead. Like
yeah, it looks relatively.
It sees a lot of stuff coming from this upper camera that's up top shooting out. Unless there's like a tall truck in front of you, it can see pretty far down the line.
It's very interestingly smooth. I remember the Model X being pretty jolty.
Yeah, it was unsure, so it would be like, and kind of inch out like it's going to do something, and it didn't know if it was supposed to or not, so it would stop or it would shoot out real quick.
Right.
And it had, a ton of power in that thing, so it's very easy to over power that pedal. So I don't know if they reduce it down. I would assume they reduce it down to more like a chill mode from a beast mode.
Yeah.
On these to self-drive, but I don't really know for sure.
Howdy.
It's pretty awesome.
It's doing really
Haven't
good.
run into any problems.
And it's not really riding anybody's butt like they used to, or cutting people off, or...
Yeah, and I think you can adjust that too, the distance between
you can?
you and cars, yeah. I haven't adjusted, everything is set to default. I haven't adjusted anything.
Have they given you that opportunity with beta, or is it just the default version?
I don't know. I haven't played with it to see. I just kind of turned it on and started going.
Yeah.
I think you could adjust to go up to 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, and that's what I did like on my last one. So I did that. And then there's something about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
one.
something about automatic set speed offset. Okay.
Nope. It says don't play with your UI.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Tesla.
Doesn't like that.
Tesla get angry. But it is really cool.
It is very cool.
The interface is really
Yeah, look at that interface.
Looks like
It looks really wide, and it detects like an object that's over there that isn't necessarily a car or a truck, but it is square, so I can see why I would think that. And it detects all the way into that lane over there. It sees everything.
It sees these cars.
It sees all the way
It sees
across.
that freaking pizza guy over there. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It sees that road. It can draw out that road even though it's over.
Do a little bit off-roading. Give him pretty good distance.
Yeah, I mean the applications will be crazy because from elderly people to people with eyesight problems to to people with disabilities and handicaps. I mean, the ability to get in your own car and just drive somewhere, the autonomy and the freedom and the independence it gives people will be really awesome.
That's what I hope.
People that rely on others to go places.
Hopefully they won't need
theoretically
to.
will not need to with this as it gets better. And then, they're having the robo-taxi event this month in Austin.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, so Elon's having this big robo-taxi event where he's going to talk about the plans to have robo-taxi buttons in here, so when you go park your car and it's level 5 autonomy, you can push robo-taxi and it'll rent out your car while you're at work.
Really? So like almost like an Uber function.
It'll be but it'll make you money while you're sitting at work or at home.
That's insane.
Yeah, because it can pick people up through autonomy. And I imagine Austin will be one of the first places to do it since he's here.
Yeah.
So I'll probably turn it on here before others, but not that I'm going to do it in our Cybertruck. But
No,
you could turn on your car to make you money, either from home or overnight.
Yeah.
As long as it's charged up, it can go until it runs out of charge.
Right.
You can pick people up to the airport and bring them home, or I don't know if Tesla's going to have their own fleet of robo-taxis.
That would be
too.
smart on their part.
It could be, but then you're competing with your clients that bought the car, so I don't know.
For the auto drive.
To see what those cars are doing, because it doesn't know if those cars are green or yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has no idea.
Maybe we should get dinner when we're
Maybe.
or I could let you try that. You can go to Chili's or something. Maybe not.
I could try it out. I don't have shoes on.
Can't help you with that.
Yeah.
We can go home first.
Yeah.
Just let it take us home and I can order it.
This is really cool.
It is pretty neat. It is really impressive. First day with the Cybertruck. I mean, they've obviously been doing this for a long time with the other cars, but
Yeah.
it's the first time with this car.
And then they have to redesign all of the cameras and the functions and the sensors with this car because of how different it was from the other models.
Right. I mean, the shape and the size and the width and it doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal, but apparently it was. It took them a while the truck's been out for, a year now or so.
About.
Whenever it first came out.
Since
So
2023.
Yeah, so, it's taken them a while to get comfortable with releasing it in this format.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. It seems more complicated than I would have expected it to be.
Yeah.
I think it's just recalibrating some cameras and get on with it, but I guess there's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm. It's getting pretty dark in here. Ooh, didn't like that.